Hello people of YouTube, my name is Steve Gray and thank you for watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do on future guitar related videos. So today we are going to be talking about the problem with every single Fender guitar ever that I personally hate, can't stand, and are very annoyed by, which technically they are fixing a little bit, but not 100%. So, here is my newly acquired Fender Mexican Stratocaster, which you might have saw in another video. I don't have the backplate for it, just tried to get one today. Screw holes don't line up, I'm not drilling into it. So let's start off with my problem with most Fender guitars. So for starters, big old bulky freaking neck joint. You can't get up to the higher frets. Sometimes you gotta shim the neck. Sometimes you don't like the neck and you gotta buy an entire brand new one because they didn't cut it right, or the pocket right, or something like that. This one, fortunately, does not have that issue, although I am getting some buzzing from the 9th fret, which I'm hoping I don't have a low fret somewhere on the guitar, because I really don't want to pay to get that replaced. So, the issue I have with this heel joint, besides accessibility, is there is always a crack right here, there's always a crack right here. The neck moves around a lot if you're doing bends or trying to move the neck to actually get it to do certain things, and inevitably you're going to get a cracked finish at some point in time, which hurts the value to a certain extent, but if it's used and already beat up a little bit, it's not going to hurt the value that much. Now what Fender has done is they have kind of cut the edge here, the corner piece, in some of their newer guitars off the Player series to give you a higher accessibility. However, I'm going to show you another guitar that I think does the job far better momentarily. Another issue I have is they have a tremolo on a lot of these Strats and no locking nut, so the second you do anything with it, it goes out of tune, 9 out of 10. And the third is I hate these saddles. These stupid little things right here. The Squire ones, in my opinion, actually have better saddles than these do. They are thicker metal, and I think they hold on to the strings a lot better. And also, every time you adjust these things, because it's a failed design, these were actually meant to have an ashtray cover over this entire area, so these weren't digging into your hands. So instead of Fender saying, hey, let's make smaller screws or get smaller screws to set these things up, they're like, nah, we're going to use the same screws we've been using since the 1950s, and it's just going to dig into your hand the entire time, and you're either going to end up filing them down, or the side of your hand is going to have a big enough callus on it after a certain amount of time of playing that it is no longer going to matter. So, the next guitar I am going to show you, which has its share of problems because it is an off-brand Floyd Rose, but we'll talk about that later. This is my PB Predator Plus EXP guitar. And now, what did they do different as opposed to the Stratocaster? So, if we look at the heel joint, look at how beautiful and round that is. Ibanez does the same thing, and it is just nice. You can get way up there to the 22nd fret on that low E string. No problem, no strain in your thumb, no issues there at all. Now, the neck shape, in this case, has actually been altered to follow this joint. Fender doesn't have to do that exactly, but they can definitely do something similar. They have the money and manpower to do so. Next, what I prefer on this guitar, locking nut. So, it is going to stay in tune when you are doing dive bombs and bends, which is really nice. This one also has a Floyd Rose system, and the saddles are, while off-branded and kind of crappy because it is a licensed for Floyd Rose and not an actual Floyd Rose, so we got all sorts of mystery metal in this thing. They are solid saddles, and the strings stay in tune, and I don't really have to worry about doing bends as opposed to doing anything with the tremolo on the Strat. So what do I do with pretty much every Strat that I have that has a tremolo on it? I basically hardtail it. What does that mean? Basically, it means the 2 screws on top, or the 6 screws, you basically tighten them down all the way they can And then you tighten down the springs in the back until it's basically flush with the body, and then your tremolo isn't going to move at all too much. You can shove some coins back there, shove a piece of wood back there, whatever you want to do. Basically, it stops it from basically moving on you while you're playing, so it will never go out of tune. So, my question is to you, Fender, why do you not do these things that I ask you to do? If you have any type of tremolo system, you either got to figure out a way to make it sustain better, you got to include locking tuners with the guitar, because if you have locking tuners, you don't even need a locking nut. So that would definitely fix the problem, make some of the guitars have locking tuners. Make that neck joint a little bit smoother. And the saddles, how about you make them thicker and you make those screws a little bit thinner, like half the length, because honestly, you do not need that length. And then it's a pain in the ass to the consumer, because we're either sitting here with a saw trying to cut the things in half, we got to go buy different screws, or we just go buy an entirely new different saddle set for the guitar because we don't like the saddles that are currently on the guitar. Then you got to take off the strings, mess with the tremolo, adjust the intonation again, and it is just a giant pain in the ass. So, my question to Fender is, why don't they take these complaints that people have been having for a very long time and actually do something about it? Make the saddles a little bit thicker for better sustain, adjust the length of the screws, throw on some locking tuners, and fix your freaking heel joint that you've been using the same thing since the 50s. Yeah, you know Leo Fender, the guy that started your company? Yeah, he went on and he fixed the heel joint. Look at some of the GNLs and some of the Music Man heel joints. They're round and beautiful and perfect. You can get all the way up there. And the saddles, they're not flimsy and thin to be cost effective. They're actually thick, so the guitar sustains well, even though it might cost a whole $3 extra to the consumer. But oh, God forbid, mass production. Oh, and the screw length too. Guess what he did? He made them shorter. Ho, 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 he made them shorter. So yeah, why don't you take some notes from the creator of your actual company and fix all the problems you got. And now you're probably sitting here at the end of this video thinking, oh, this guy's just a PV fanboy. Oh, he's a Music Man fanboy. Oh, he's an Ibanez fanboy. Well, I don't even like Ibanez necks. So let me start with you right there. I do not like the Wizard neck. Too thin for me. Personally, this PV guitar has a tremolo that is basically useless, and I am going to need to buy a new tremolo for it. And then, now we're going on to Gibson. Oh, Gibson fanboy. Oh, don't worry, Gibson. I'm a-coming for you, too. You got your fair share of problems, and you're going to get taken down a peg. A little bit. And you remember that high access heel joint you did a couple of years ago that was amazing and everybody loved, and it was the one thing on your crazy robot tuner guitars that people did not complain about, and then you got rid of it for the new series? Yeah. We're going to be talking about that in the next video. Don't you worry. I'm a-coming for you. I'm a-coming. My name is Steve Gray. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. And as always, have a good one.